Lisa spent over 300 million naira building a dream mansion. Then she came home and found her sister pregnant with her husband's child inside. For 3 years, Lisa was a ghost in Alaska. She worked double shift in the cold room until her back nearly snapped and her fingers went numb from the Arctic frost. Every hour of overtime was a bag of cement, a floor tile in the mansion she was building back home. She was freezing in the snow just to keep a fire burning in Nigeria. She came home to surprise them, but when that gate opened, the humid Lagos air hit her like a physical blow. It was thick, wet, and suffocating. A welcome home that felt more like a warning. The security guard hesitated. He didn't see the owner. He saw a ghost, a problem. The house smelled of expensive OUD, the scent of her sauces, clashing with a cheap, glowing vanilla perfume that didn't belong to her. Inside, the silence was heavy. Lisa didn't scream. A woman who survives an Arctic winter learns that breath is too precious to waste on noise. She simply washed, her hands scarred and calloused from fish packing crates, resting dead at her sides. There she was, her younger sister, Nneka, sprawled on Lisa's Italian leather sofa. When she stood, her hands moved to her stomach. Too fast, too protective, 5 months pregnant. Her husband didn't just take her money. He took her family and moved them into the bed she paid for. Emeka thought distance made her a fool. He even told her he would rent a duplex for her to give them space. But the rent is due now and the landlady doesn't take excuses. Because before she was the landlady, she was the woman who built the wall and she's about to take them all back. The Alaskan wind cut through Lisa like a knife for 3 years. While her friends in Lagos posted beach photos, she scraped ice off her windshield at 4 a.m. Every double shift was a bag of cement. Every overtime hour, a floor tile for the mansion back home. She sent every naira to Emeka, trusting him with her life and her bank account. "Build us a kingdom," she said. He would flash a smile and promise their future was being paved in marble. She believed him. She worked until her back nearly snapped, fueled by blurry WhatsApp photos of a house she had never entered. She froze in the snow to keep a fire burning in Nigeria. She didn't realize that her husband was using that fire to keep another woman warm. The Lagos humidity hit Lisa like a physical blow as she stepped out of the taxi. She stood before the towering black gate of her compound, chest tight with pride. But the security guard, whose salary she had paid for years, didn't move. He stood there squinting, blocking the entrance as if she were a stranger. "Madam, who are you looking for?" Oga didn't say he had guests. He muttered. Lisa didn't waste breath. She gave him a warm smile. "I am your boss's wife, and this is my house." The man's face went gray. He was confused because there was another woman in the house. He refused to let her in. Lisa screamed at him to open the gate. He finally opened the door, eyes darting towards the main house with pure terror. Her suitcase wheels rattled against the interlocking stones. A suffocating silence fell over the compound. It felt less like a homecoming. Lisa didn't bother knocking. She had the spare key. Emeka had sent it to her after the completion of the house. The door swung open on the expensive German hinges she had requested. The house smelled of expensive OUD and a cheap floral perfume that wasn't hers. Then she saw her younger sister, Nneka, sprawled across an Italian leather sofa. She looked up at Lisa, her eyes bulging in shock. "Lisa, you are back. We didn't get a flight alert," she stammered. "We?" Lisa repeated. The word felt like a broken glass in her throat. She scanned the room. A pair of women's heels by the door and a framed photo of Nneka and Emeka laughing together at a wedding. Nneka offered her water with shaking hands. "Sit down, Lisa. The heat is too much for you," she chirped in a high, guilty pitch. Lisa didn't sit. She walked into the kitchen, cataloging the treasury. On the kitchen island sat prenatal vitamins next to a plate of half-eaten ishiewu. Her stomach turned. "Where is my husband, Nneka?" Lisa asked, her voice flatter than the winter she had escaped. Nneka opened her mouth, but no sound came out. Instead, she instinctively shifted her hand to her midsection. That was when Lisa saw it, the curve of a 5-month pregnancy beneath her silk robe. Lisa had spent 3 years scrubbing floors to build a sanctuary. Her own blood had turned it into a filth and a hiding place. The front door creaked open. Emeka strode in, humming and carrying groceries. He looked well rested, his skin glowing with the ease of a man who hasn't worked in years. Seeing Lisa, he didn't drop the bags or run. He just sighed. "Lisa, you should have called first," he said, dumping the groceries. Lisa said nothing. "I was sick, Lisa. I almost died in January. If Nneka hadn't nursed me, I wouldn't be standing." Lisa looked at the man who had begged for 5 million naira for emergency surgery. She had sent the money within hours. "Sick?" she whispered. "Is that why you got my sister pregnant? To thank her?" Emeka shrugged with an arrogance Lisa couldn't comprehend. "She is family, Lisa. She's carrying my child. I will rent a duplex in Lekki for you tomorrow so we can have a space while we figure this out." Lisa didn't sleep that night. She couldn't comprehend what was happening. She sat in the dark guest room, the only corner of the house without their scent. She stared into the darkness for a long time. Her mind became a ledger calculating every dollar she had poured into Emeka's hand. She opened her laptop, the screen reflecting in her eyes like a cold flame. She logged into the joint account she had funded with 200 million naira for a real estate deal. He thought distance made her a fool, but distance gives you clear view of a snake. She traced the history: fancy dinners, designers' bags, and fake hospital bills. They were living like royalty on her back. She felt a strange calm. Tears don't pay for cement. She spent the night on the phone with her lawyer, a locksmith, and a security company. By dawn, the trap was set. By 2 p.m., the clouds broke. A classic Lagos downpour started. Perfect timing. Lisa stood in the parlor as 3 heavy-set men in black uniforms walked in. Emeka rushed out, chest puffed out in a fake display of authority. "Lisa, what's this? Who are these people?" Lisa didn't look at him. She gave the security team a simple nod. "Clear it out," she said. "Everything." They moved with military precision. They threw the TVs, sofas, and Persian rugs into the rain. "You can't do this. I have right," he screamed. Lisa stepped toward him. "Right? You are a squatter. Your lease ended the second you brought my sister into my bed. Get out." The real blow didn't land when their belongings hit the mud. It happened an hour later. Emeka was pacing the yard, trying to book a hotel. His card declined. "That's impossible. Try the card again." He backed at the phone. He tried his second card. Declined. He tried the banking app. Account blocked. A long silence. He looked at Lisa, desperation finally hitting him. "Lisa, what did you do? That 200 million, where is it?" Lisa leaned against the door frame with a dangerous smile. "The money is back in an account you can't touch." "You wanted to rent a duplex for me? It looks like you will be searching for a room tonight. I hope Nneka knows how to sleep in a car." The following days were a blur of changing locks and filing papers. Lisa's phone buzzed with relatives who pretend to care about family unity. They said she was too harsh. Lisa listened in silence before blocking them. Where were they when she was working 2 jobs in freezing snow? Where was their unity when her sister was sleeping in her bed? She hired a crew to scrub every inch of the house. She replaced the mattress, the sheets, and the curtains. As she walked through the quiet rooms, a weight lifted. The house was quiet, but not silent. The betrayal was a scar, but she took back her house. The landlady doesn't take excuses. A week later, Lisa stood on the balcony as the sun set. The house was finally peaceful. She had already put the property on the market. She wanted the capital. She sat in a quiet cafe in Victoria Island, sipping a drink that cost more than her sister's monthly allowance. She had lost a husband and a sister, but she had found the woman she had neglected for years. Sacrifice is a powerful tool, but you must guard it. She learned the hard way. Never build a mansion for a man who won't even carry a brick for you. Her future was wide open. The Alaskan winter was a distant memory. Lisa is the architect of her own life, and from now on, she only builds for the woman she sees in the mirror.